Good day, Lagos and Nigeria. Welcome to Plus TvAfrica's Tea Time, where we give you the best vibes, have intellectual conversations, and of course, serve you our carefully brewed tea. My name is Oyibo Priscilla, and I do not do this alone. With me here is Prezi. How are you doing today, Prezi?
I'm fine. I'm super excited. Today is very, very different, actually. I think that's the good thing I like about today, actually.
Yeah, it's very special.
Mm-hmm.
So, how is your day going so far?
Well, I'm excited. I think that crowns it all, actually.
Yeah, it's showing in your face like you're just all smiling.
As always.
Of course, filled with positivity as well. So, we can't do this without you, our lovely viewers. So, please do tune in, and also our YouTube channel on Plus TV Africa Lifestyle. Sharing your opinions, what you'd like to see on the show next, and whatever. What next? So, without further ado, let's jump right into it.
And so, today's show is going to take a different shape. And one thing I like about today's show is the fact that we have two amazing guests on today's show. And right here, seated with us already, we have the first guest on today's show, and I would like to actually do a little introduction before we allow him, do an introduction. So, he is actually a producer, he is a director, and also, to crown it all, he's a photographer as well. And he's one of the young people doing great things in the entertainment industry as well as the cinematography field, or space, if you like to put it that way. And so, ladies and gentlemen, without much ado, please make welcome no other person but the cutest, the handsome, the most creative of them all, Oladayo Odunaro. How are you doing, bro?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So let Nigerians see your beautiful face. I don't know if there's any way they can just, see the dreadlocks, see beauty now. I mean.
Can you move it on?
So how are you doing this morning, actually?
I'm very good,
It's nice to have you here with us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm nervous now.
Don't be. So we have you today, so we just want to ask you, some few questions about photography. We've seen your amazing work, literally amazing.
Thank you very
So
much.
we want to ask you some kind of interesting questions, like where do you get the inspiration from to capture in such angles and with so much detail?
Before we even ask him that question, while I was going through your pictures and your videos and most of your works, right?
Yeah.
I started asking myself, why is it that Oladayo decided to bear his own name? I mean, most people would want to bear maybe Dayo lens, Dayo photography, things like that. Why did you decide to go with your own name? Actually?
Wow, I've never thought about that question. Well, I don't know. I think I changed my brand name. I used to have a different name, but I changed my brand name in 2017, and it was more, there's some beef I cannot see on camera here, but I really wanted to show that I'm the one doing the work. So Oladayo, theOladayo was what I decided, and this is done by me. And I think it's easier that way because I'm kind of multifaceted. I don't stay in one lane. So instead of putting layers of photography at the back and then not doing something else, so I decided that
I'm people.
Exactly. So exactly, it's very broad and it covers virtually anything I do.
Interesting.
So, and a question on inspiration, on how you get such perfect angles when you take these pictures, these videos. I just want to know, how does it come to mind that this position is better, and it actually brings out that it tells so much story.
Yeah, and memories as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, could you fill us up on that?
So there's the technical answer, and then there's the spiritual answer. but I'm just joking. Mostly because I'm a student of the craft. I spend every waking hour just learning. So of course, it translates into the work when you see it, because I've spent a lot of time, my 10,000 hours plus 20,000 and others, I've been doing that. But I think photography is a technical skill. Just like the DPs here and everybody, it's more like engineering. If you spend time learning it, you understand how it works, you understand light, you understand how the cameras will translate what you're seeing. So I feel like because I've spent so much, I can't give an actual answer, this is how it comes, but you feel it eventually. You know this is right, you know that this is what's correct. Especially when you studied a lot of it, you understand I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, it does to an extent.
I believe that if you spend more time, it shows in the front.
Something.
Yeah, exactly.
So that makes a lot of sense
Yeah.
because it's basically saying like
consistency.
Yeah, it makes your work look so much rich.
Yes, of course,
So
because you're consuming a lot of information, even passively. So when you get the opportunity to produce it, it comes naturally to you because it's like you being a nerd. I'm a nerd for photography. Let's start from there. So
Anyway, I'm going to come back to the aspect of your work that you actually like.
Okay.
We'll come back to that. But I mean, we'd like to hear from you. For those who maybe do not know a little about you, I know that we have like the research. You can go online and do research about Oladayo. But can you give us just a little background of who you are? I mean, you mentioned engineering. I don't know if that's even the course you did in school, because for you to have mentioned that, I'm cited because you look like those engineering guys.
You said it was a nerd for photography.
So I mean, so can you just give us like a brief background of where you come from and all of that?
okay, so my name is Oladayo, obviously, as I've said 1,000 times here. Can I say my age? No, I would say that.
Well, I know some people like to hear that part.
Okay, I'm 35.
Wow,
I
interesting.
graduated from electrical engineering in 2014, and then but I've been doing photography like 2 years before I graduated, and then I just went into that as I left school. So I've been doing this for 13 plus years. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, I know.
Well, that's why you're very good.
And then what's background?
Yeah.
So yes, I'm someone I picked up the camera to do video. Let me explain that first. I'm first a video person, and then the camera could take photos, so why not? So I decided to take. But right now, to me, the lines are blurred. I feel like a photograph is just a post video, and a video is a moving photograph.
My goodness. That description is
the
serious.
funny thing was that in secondary school, in university, that's actually how they put it. Photography is just like a pause video, and
Wow.
Cinematography is like a moving picture.
Exactly. So for me, that's what I do. I live, breathe that. That's what I do for a living. That's what I've been doing for survival.
So
in Nigeria.
what made you to actually pick up that camera and say, "Let me try this"?
Okay.
13 years, non-stop.
It's a funny story, but it takes rewind. Before photography, I was a music label executive. I used to run a record label in school. I had a couple of my classmates that I signed them. Let's not go into the Nigerian music industry drama. But I felt at the time I was doing that out of my pocket, and to that time, I think the biggest photographers in 2010, 2012, like Tobinator and some other guys like that, I couldn't afford them as a record label guy. So I said, to create album art, I have a nice phone, I'll take a picture. And I'll take a picture, design it. So I used to do graphic design. I used to do all the work for my artists back then. And it was time to shoot videos, and at the same time, I couldn't afford clients. So I started to shoot myself. So my first video ever, I shot my phone. I was in school then, it went viral on BlackBerry. So I'm very old. So what's up, BlackBerry?
It's more like an old taker.
I'm serious, very old. So after you do the video, you send it on BlackBerry. Not YouTube, you send it to people, and it went viral in school. What viral was back then, and people were like, I decided, okay, let me just take some editing classes at the time. So someone trained me, and then in 6 months' time, we came back. I had a partner at the time, and we came back to school, and we're shooting proper music videos. So that's how this whole journey started. So I went from trying to solve a problem for my record label to being this years later. So
Interesting.
So if you could actually visually translate emotions into picture, which I notice you do a lot with your line of work.
yeah.
How do you do it? How are you able to actually put in so much emotion into your picture? It looks so alive when you see it. So how do you do it? It's a question I've been wanting to ask since I saw like some of your pictures with these celebrities, a lot of them actually, and they look so rich. So the point I go like, how? There's a picture I actually saw on your something, and you were like, oh, just kidding, I didn't take it with my phone. And I was like, no, this picture it's crazy, it's
right?
beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, how do you come up with putting in so much emotion? That's my own, so much emotion into a picture.
And sometimes when these questions come, it's like I don't know, because I said it comes naturally. I'm not having to. I'm trying to reverse engineer it and think of what exactly it is. But I think it's a play on light and shadows, right? Photography is always that, right? So it's a balance of what I think more shadows means more mood, and more light means brightness. So you will not do a baby's picture with moodiness. It's life. You want a lot of light there. Like it should be bright and beautiful. And then if you're trying to be edgy, you bring in the shadows. I like shadows a lot. So so when you see the mood in the photos, is because I'm trying to push, as I said, trigger an emotion. I'm not trying to show you everything at the same time. I'm just trying to like, hey, this is something to see. Or focus here. I'm specifically trying to design the light so you see what I'm trying to show you. And yeah, I think that's like the easiest way to explain my work, because I'm just trying to focus your eyes on something, whether it's photo or video. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you've started teaching us about photography. Maybe we might even take a class after this. But I'd like to know, because this is a huge skill, and I mean, we just talked about 3 skills now. This is directing, producing, and photography, you know. So how do you like merge these 3 skills that one doesn't have to like suffer,
Luckily, I would say that they're all collaborative. They don't stand away from each. I mean, I feel like if you're going to be in this field, it's important to learn as much as possible, because it translates. If you're a photographer and you don't know about directing talent, you're basically just anybody with an iPhone. No offense. I wasn't trying to trash you. That laugh is not fair. but realistically, it's you need to be able to see how to teach people emotions, or at least direct them to produce the emotion you want. Everything is a moment in time, so you're trying to say, this is the story I'm trying to tell. If we're here, we're all bright, it's light, it's a morning show, we have to be happy, we have to look like life is good, and we're not in, sorry, I can't say political stuff, you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, but it's in a different case. With a movie about a funeral, for instance, same, the energy has shifted already because you know what you're trying to do, but you have to learn how to do all of that. But as I said, it's all tied together.
Okay.
If I'm even doing production or producing a TV show, for instance, I have to know how all the departments work, how to help the director, how to help the DP, how to help the talent, and how to help the client, by the way, so that everybody is happy and we can produce the result we want. So it's symbiotic, if you ask me.
Different ways for different aspects of photography, and but it's cool. So I'd like us to delve straight into the most interesting part about you. Maybe Nigerians don't know, Lagosians don't know. You were actually like the creative mind, so to say, behind Ebuka Uchendu, right? A lot of his projects, a lot of stuff, the reality TV show and all of that. So how did that make you feel, having to be the one behind the creation of, I mean, Ebuka, as we know, every single time that picture drops, there's this wildfire, on the social media, and everybody's like, who is the person that took this picture? Ebuka is looking so dab, and So I would like to get the feeling. How did that feel for you, having to be the one behind, working with Ebuka? Because I feel like Ebuka is somebody who is really quite, will I use the word, I won't say street, but somebody who knows what he wants when it comes to capturing memories and all of that.
Okay. I want to brag that I own every year. I own Q2 and Q3 every Sunday. Wow! I'm joking. I mean, I'm not joking. It's fact, but
this confidence.
You have to toot your own on in this generation because nobody knows. Okay, I'm joking. Forgive me for still bragging. But so a lot of credit to Ebuka. Let's start from there. Is such is a fan of creativity, I guess. I mean, I think that's a simple way to put it. That Ebuka allows me experiment. So I've dealt with a lot of clients in the past, and I know that some people would hold your mouse. Like, this is how you want it to be. Ebuka asks me if I'm okay with it. That's where the difference comes. Like, there's a creative freedom where you're like, Baba, this is what it is. And I'm okay, no problem. I'll tell you what I want to do. And like, yeah, let's try. He's very eager to try something new. He's always experimenting with me. And for the last, since we started Big Brother, sorry, I don't know if I can say the name, but since we started the show here in Nigeria, we've been on the same wavelength where I just tell him, I mean, he tells me what he wants. I look at the outfit and then I think of the appropriate background and all of that, and he'll just come up with a look, and then luckily it translates to the audience and they really like what we do. But I don't think I will be able to say I can take the credit alone. It's a collaboration. It has always been a collaboration between me and him willing to experiment what I'm trying to do and trusting the vision. Yeah, and that's just how.
Interesting.
Okay, I actually do have a question.
Okay.
So I'm very sure you must have seen other photographers. You must have seen their works as well.
Yeah. Which
photographer did you see their work and go like, oh my God, I
would
wish
like to be like
I
this
took
person.
that shot.
It's not Nigerian.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Like,
His name is Art Striber. He's is based in the US. He shoots for all these Hollywood magazines and everything. And I'm not saying I wish I took the shot because the shot stood out to me. I want to collect the money he's collecting.
I mean, that's not a bad thing.
I mean, like the kind of budget he is charging for the work he's doing, like that's what I want to do. Like I like the work. I like that it's being paid for that kind of level of work, and that's what I aspire to be. So if there's anybody's at Striber, it's on Instagram as AS Pictures, but yeah.
So on the topic of budget,
Okay.
does financing your line of work, is that like a major challenge in your line of work?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like how does it impact the creativity of what you do?
That's a very long answer, to be fair. If we start from even just the entry of photography now, geez, like when I started, I could buy a very good DSLR, a small camera for 150K, right? If you're trying to enter now, you're looking at 800K. So I don't envy, I'm sorry, but I'll be blunt, I don't envy anybody that's trying to get into photography today because it's expensive. I recently upgraded my gear and I know what it costs. Like, so that's one layer because the dollar and all of that, right? Then on the other side of having your vision come out, it's expensive too. There's just, people just say it's not just a photo. That's the most.
That was what came to my mind. I'm like, it's just a photo you come out. As well as use your phone.
It can be just, you can use your phone and AI will help you. But you know that is not it. You know. Because there's a lot that goes into it. This picture of us on this set, there's at least 7 lights on us right now. If each light costs 100K, that's 700K. And it doesn't cost 100K. All of us. Do you understand? So it's a major investment to go in to without, even as a simple, all I do is shoot weddings. Like, even as a simple setup, it's expensive. So there's no cheap way to look at the creative work. Whether it comes from simple photographs or even movie budgets. Like, there's a lot that we do in Nigeria that makes us magicians. Really. Like, anybody that is doing this creative work here and doing it excellently is a magician because the budget is not, you're pulling out creativity without a budget.
So basically, we can call you a wizard.
Please do.
All right. So while we wind down with, on the interview gradually, I would like to ask. I would have loved to ask you how you go about, budgeting and pricing. In relation to what she just asked you, because most people who want to go into photography might not have this idea of knowing how to, ask for a particular price from a client. They just, because this client is saying, come do this particular job, you just give out any kind of invoice, so to say. So I would have loved to know if you could just even give us an idea of how one could go around that. If there's like a specific way you as a photographer or, someone who is a cinematographer can do that.
Okay, no shade again, but this industry is so shrouded in secrecy that we don't know what things should cost here. I don't know, I watch a news channel and the business correspondents have been dragging Nollywood to show their budget of how they produce these films. Most times we see 1 billion in box office, but we don't know how much it costs to produce it. And that's because let me not be the one that did it.
A lot of tweaking, yeah.
I'll pause that for now. But my point is this, if you ask me how I learn, I know what my colleagues at my experience point and skill, I know what they charge abroad. I cannot translate that to Nigeria. If somebody is charging $1,000 a day as day rate for director work, you can't do it in Nigeria. They'll just laugh you out of the room, right? So, but I understand what I bring to the table, and I know how to negotiate that with the one-on-one client. Sometimes you negotiate with the client, you're lucky it's a high-budget client. Sometimes it's a low-budget client, and you are interested in building your portfolio with the work. You have to find that middle ground as a creative. Like, okay, have I done this before? Will it add to my portfolio for a bigger client so I can take less? Or I've done this before and I'm only going to take what I know is my rate. Now, I cannot be bringing numbers here because that could either alienate me or not. But the point is that the secrecy I was talking about is if I knew what someone that had been doing it 5 years ahead of me had been charging, there's like an open, like there are unions in the US for different departments, for DPs, for even gaffers, and they know what they charge as day rates. If I'm going into that industry, I know, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be expecting as my day rate at 5 years of experience, at 10 years of experience. If I knew all of that, it's easy for me to say I can project into even taking loans to like buy equipment for my industry and make me better, you understand? But we don't have that. So I hope the older guys can start doing seminars to start telling people what these things really cost, because a lot of people come into this thing in debt and they don't even so they get depressed down the line because they don't even know how to make money out of it. Like, it's funny how some budgets will be mentioned in some places and they make, I mean, people look at it, as you said, that all is not just a photo.
Yeah.
And then they expect you to, it's just a photo. Like, it's cheap. It's not. Sorry, but no.
Okay.
Well, it seems like
It seems like there's
a lot of
so broad.
Yeah.
That we
Oh, it is.
actually do
we can't
neglect
exhaust right here.
some kind of things
Yeah.
in it. So I think this is where we would actually.
Well, before we go, because I'm actually enjoying. I mean, I'm enjoying the conversation because this is like the first time, so to say, having like somebody who is into photography. But we'll just ask like one question, and we'll actually be brief about that. So we'd like to know, because I want to put it now in the spot. Have you ever like done a work for a client where you know you put in the best, you've done all the features, add all the effects, everything you have to do, and at the end of the day, this client tells you, I don't really feel it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's standard practice because, first of all, good is subjective. But the other half of that sentence is that I did good work because I know what it takes to do good work. But if you're not feeling it as an emotional response, then it's okay. We would sit down with the client and explain, I mean, what do you want to do to make it better? In many cases, you might not be able to satisfy the client and you just count it as a loss. But as long as you follow the rules to get into the result and you didn't cut corners, if the person is not feeling it because it's a bad day, then it's what it is. But you have to, I feel like that's the part where creative work needs to be standardized. If you go to a doctor and he gives you paracetamol and he cures your headache, the doctor has done a good work, right? So as a professional and creative, I should be able to say it takes A plus B to get you C. And if I give you the C and you don't believe that my A plus B is right, that's fine. But I did my job. So I will not let it push me back or be like, we're professionals. We should be professionals. We're not supposed to be emotional about bad reviews, I guess.
Interesting. So last question before we go. I see her looking at me. Last question before we go. So I would like to know, I mean, I said I was going to ask this question. We have 3 aspects: photography, directing, and all of that. Yeah. Which one do you find like very happy about when you want to do it?
I can't lie, it's all of them. Like, I absolutely enjoy every day.
Well, I mean, like you said,
it's collaborative.
Yeah, it's a collaborative effort. So.
Okay, so there's no one that excites you actually.
To me, I'm doing everything every time, I guess. So I cannot separate the lines. We just need all this time. There's no one word to say this is everything you do. Okay. So most times I will just say I'm a media service provider.
All right, so I'd like you to give out your social media handles.
Yes,
so that in case
theOladayo.
theOladayo.
Yeah, theOladayo. TheOladayo.
So, okay.
All right. Okay. Thank you for, being here today. You made this so lively.
Yeah.
And
I learned a lot.
Do enjoy your presence.
Thank you. Yeah. I wish it was longer so we can do a podcast episode.
But as you know, let's go for a quick music break and we will be right back.